Hi everyone, so for your Thursday English lesson we're going to be looking at this story called The Woman Who Outshone the Sun. Now we'll be doing this story on Thursday and Friday this week and Thursday and Friday next week as well. This is a Mexican story, it's a Mexican folk tale that has a message at the end of it. Have a little look at the cover. What do you think it's going to be about? Have you noticed that there's this bit of text which isn't in English? This is in Spanish. Now in this book every page has a bit in English and then the same in Spanish underneath. This is because in Mexico the main language that's spoken is Spanish. Let's have a little read of the blurb. So it says, a Mexican folk tale beautifully retold, The Woman Who Outshone the Sun, the legend of Lucia Zenteno. This lyrical and moving story from ancient Mexico tells of a beautiful woman who arrives in a mountain village with an iguana at her side. Her hair so glorious it outshines the sun. And there we can see that's Lucia Zenteno, so that's the woman who outshone the sun, and this is her pet iguana. So what you're going to be doing today and tomorrow is working towards writing a character description all about Lucia Zenteno. So we're going to read the story and I'd like you to just be thinking about who Lucia Zenteno is, how you can describe her character and how you can describe the way she looks. So let's start reading. Make sure that you're sitting comfortably. The day Lucia Zenteno arrived, everyone in the village was astonished. No one knew where she came from, yet they all saw that she was amazingly beautiful and that she brought thousands of dancing butterflies and brightly coloured flowers on her skirts. She walked softly, yet with quiet dignity, her long unbraided hair flowing behind her. A loyal iguana walked at her side. No one knew who she was, but they did know that nothing shone as brightly as Lucia Zenteno. Some people said that she outshone the sun. Others said that her glorious hair seemed to block out the light. There used to be a river that ran by the town, almost the same river that runs by there now, and people said that when Lucia Zenteno went there to bathe, the river fell in love with her. The water rose from its bed and began to flow through her shining black hair. So you can see all of the fish going in her hair. When Lucia finished bathing, she would sit by the river and comb out her hair with a comb made from the wood of the mesquite tree. And when she did, the water, the fish and the otters would flow out of her hair and return to the river once more. The old people of the village said that although Lucia was different from them, she would be honoured and treated with respect. She understood the ways of nature, they said. But some people did not listen to the elders. They were afraid of Lucia's powers, which they didn't understand, and so they refused to answer Lucia's greetings or offer their friendship. They called her cruel names and spied on her day and night. Can you see them all behind their houses? Lucia did not return the meanness of the people. She kept to herself and continued to walk with her head held high. Her quiet dignity angered some of the people. They whispered that Lucia must be trying to harm them. People became more afraid of Lucia, and so they treated her more cruelly. Finally, they drove her from the village. Lucia went down to the river one last time to say goodbye. As always, the water rose to greet her and began to flow through her glorious hair. But this time when she tried to comb the river out of her hair, the river would not leave her. And so, when Lucia Zenteno left the village, the river and the fishes and the otters went with her, leaving only a dry, winding riverbed, a serpent of sand where the water had been. Everyone saw that Lucia Zenteno was leaving, and that the river, the fishes, and the otters were leaving with her. The people were filled with despair. They had never imagined that their beautiful river would ever leave them, no matter what they did. Where once there had been green trees and cool breezes, now no more rain fell. No birds sang, no otters played. The people and their animals suffered from thirst. People began to understand, as never before, how much the river, the fishes, the otters, even the trees and birds had meant to the village. They began to understand how much the river had loved Lucia Zenteno. The elder said that everyone must search for Lucia and beg her forgiveness. Some people did not want to. They were too afraid. But when the drought continued, everyone finally agreed to follow the elder's advice, and so the whole village set out in search of Lucia. After many days of walking, the people found the iguana cave, where Lucia had gone to seek refuge. Lucia was waiting for them, but they could not see her face. She had turned her back to the people. At first, no one dared say a word. Then 2 children called out, "Lucia, we have come to ask for your forgiveness. Please have mercy on us and return our river." Lucia Zenteno turned and looked at the people. She saw their frightened, tired faces, and she felt compassion for them. At last she spoke. "I will ask the river to return to you," she said. "But just as the river gives water to all who are thirsty, no matter who they are, so you must learn to treat everyone with kindness, even those who seem different from you." The people remembered how they had treated Lucia, and they hung their heads in shame. Seeing that the people were truly sorry for what they had done, Lucia returned with them to the village and began to comb out her hair. She combed out the water, she combed out the fish, she combed out the otters, and she kept on combing until the river had returned once more to where it belonged. The people were overjoyed to have their river again. They poured water over themselves and over their animals, they jumped into the river, and they laughed and cried with happiness. In all the excitement, no one noticed at first that Lucia had disappeared again. When the children asked the elders where she had gone, the elders replied that Lucia had not really left them. Though they would not be able to see her, she would always be there, guiding and protecting them, helping them to live with love and understanding in their hearts. There we go, and that is the end of that story. So you're going to need a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. And what you're going to need to do is draw the outline of a person. Doesn't need to be perfect, mine definitely isn't, it was just a 2-second sketch. Draw the outline of a person, and you're going to be doing something called roll on the wall. Now this just helps you to think about what the character is like. So we know that she is called Lucia Zenteno. And then inside, I'd like you to write all of the lovely phrases that you can think of to describe her. So you can write these wherever you would like to. So we know that she has flowing hair. We know that she is very powerful. Now I want you to think of as many adjectives and expanded noun phrases and similes to describe what she looks like. Now around the outside, you're going to be writing some adjectives that describe who she is in the story. So we know that she is a compassionate person. So remember, from our values, compassionate means kindness. We know that she is compassionate, so you can write about how she's viewed by the other people around her. But inside needs to be all of your amazing adjectives, expanded noun phrases, similes, all of your lovely phrases to describe what she's like. And then all of these fantastic words we'll put together into sentences tomorrow to make a really good character description of Lucia Zenteno. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and I look forward to seeing all of your lovely work and lovely ideas. And I will see you tomorrow in the live lesson. Bye!